Morning, everybody. My name is Jim Aspel. I'm a workers' compensation attorney in Farmington, Connecticut. And I wanted to take a minute today and talk to you about some of the added value that having a lawyer handle your workers' compensation case can bring. Uh, Workers' compensation is a statutory benefit. It's something that if you're working for an employer and you get injured, by law, the employer has to provide workers' compensation benefits for you. So the question arises, why do I need to get a lawyer to avail myself of a benefit that's available to me automatically? It's not something that I typically would have to fight for to get. That's what one would think. Unfortunately, workers' compensation is a bit more complicated than that. You certainly can represent yourself. You can go through the process, you can file the claim, you can fill out the form correctly, you can make sure that you get it where it needs to go and that you don't make any mistakes in going through that process so that you perfect your rights. You can pick a doctor. There's all sorts of ways you can represent yourself in your workers' compensation case. You're certainly free to represent yourself and go to workers' compensation hearings and make your pitch before the commissioner and all of that stuff. And, in all likelihood, it's going to work out fine for you. The reality is that a lot of people do not want to deal with the time and the aggravation that it takes to correctly and properly file a workers' compensation case. So if you find that that's a bit overwhelming for you, or you don't feel comfortable going through that process, that's where a lawyer can really help you. Having a lawyer handle your workers' compensation case, we fill out the forms for you. We make sure that those are filled out correctly. We send them to the appropriate workers' compensation districts in the appropriate time frame and in the appropriate manner. There's a way you have to do that so that it's done correctly. We get all of the medical records for you. If you're representing yourself in a workers' compensation case, one of the things you're going to have to do is obtain medical records from all of your doctors, and not just the doctors that you're treating for the work-related injury, but in all likelihood for every doctor you've ever seen for every condition you may have had for 10 years before you got hurt. So that's a daunting task for some people. If you have an attorney handling your workers' compensation case, that's something that the attorney or their staff is going to do on your behalf, just as a matter of handling the case. Another benefit to having a workers' compensation attorney handle the case is that they will handle your mileage claims. They'll deal with any skirmishes you may have with adjusters or medical providers, getting your bills paid in a timely manner, getting appointments scheduled. If you need a ride to an appointment, that's something the attorney or their staff will typically help arrange for you. So there's all manner of administrative things that having a lawyer, we take that particular headache off your plate. The nice part is that workers' compensation attorneys work on a contingency fee. So we get paid a percentage, typically 20% of the benefits that we obtain on your behalf. So for these value-added services, you're not paying an additional expense. You're not paying by the hour for the attorney or the attorney's paralegal or legal assistant to go to a hearing, to go to the post office and file the forms, to track down the medical records, whatever it happens to be. All of those ancillary services are all included in the handling of the case. That's just something that the practice of workers' compensation entails. So aside from that, the day-to-day mundane things that the attorney is going to help you with, the reality of the matter is that at the end of your case, having an attorney represent you for your work injury is generally, actually, it is going to return more money to your pocket. An insurance company, and I hate to go with the trope that insurance companies are out trying to screw people, because I don't necessarily believe that, but insurance companies are trying to do what's best for them and for their stockholder. And if they can get away with paying you $10,000 on a $20,000 claim, they're not going to volunteer to you that you have these additional benefits that you may be entitled to. And if it doesn't dawn on you that that's a component of your settlement, the insurance company, in all likelihood, is not going to step up and say, you're entitled to this money. So at the end of the day, in negotiating a workers' comp settlement, claimants that have attorneys that are represented professionally are going to end up with a larger settlement. That's just simply a fact. That happens because attorneys know what the cases are valued at, attorneys know the additional benefits that you're going to be entitled to. Typically, any workers' compensation attorney that's been practicing for more than a few years is going to know what can conceivably go wrong with your particular injury down the road, what sort of complications you may have, what sort of revision procedures you may need, whether your injury is one that's going to make you prone to arthritis. There's all manner of things that come with the experience in the field of workers' compensation, where an attorney is going to know more about what the proper value of your case is going to be than you are. So that's a real benefit to you, and certainly the amount of money that the attorney negotiates for you in the settlement is going to be more than sufficient to make up the 20% that you're going to pay the attorney to negotiate that settlement for you. So that's my pitch. It really kind of depends what your comfort level is with the legal system. And there's a lot of people that think, I can handle this myself, and by all rights you can. I just would like you to think about some of those various values. There's value-added services that a workers' compensation attorney is going to provide to you, and think about the fact that at the end of the day, when it comes time to close out your settlement, if you do have an attorney negotiating that for you, you are in all likelihood going to end up with more money. And that's just a fact. Hope that helps. If you have any questions about any of that or any of the various services that a workers' compensation attorney can provide for you, feel free to give us a call at any time. We're in Farmington, 860-523-8783. We have a lot of information on our website. The website address is www.aspelllaw.com. We have a Facebook page, Ask a Connecticut Workers' Compensation Attorney. You can post a question there. I would also invite you to subscribe to this channel. I try to do a number of videos on various workers' compensation topics, and so if you subscribe, you'll be notified if we drop a new video. If there's anything you'd like specifically addressed, feel free to shoot me an email, and I'll be more than happy to do a video on it, because if you've got that question, chances are somebody else is going to have that question too, and maybe we can help more than one of you out. Okay, hope you have a great day, and stay safe out there. Thank you.